what I wanted to come with you today is some solutions and some things that we've seen from our perspective that are working for end users like yourselves in your marketing department, or kind of ways to make connections with people and ways to stay relevant utilizing promotional products. So from my company's perspective, like Debbie said, we focus on really high quality. So if it's not a good quality product, we really don't want to bring it into the line. And on top of that, we do a ton of digital decoration, and that allows us to do all kinds of variable data and personalization. And personalization for us means we put a logo on an item and then we put people's names underneath the logo, and that creates connection. And I think a lot of people have really been searching for a way to connect with their employees and their customers in a world where we can't visit people face to face. So actually, this story really sticks out, and one of my better selling product categories right now is cooler bags. So I had a customer of mine tell me about an end user promotion where they did a gift at the end of the year for all the employees, and it was a cooler bag, and all the employees got the cooler bag, and their name was on the cooler bag, and everybody was blown away. Because I think the perception amongst those employees was they just, the customer broke into the promo closet and pulled some stuff out and gave everybody something at the holidays. But because their name was added to that product, that was a really big deal for them, and they felt that it was made just for them. So the product was this guy right here. I call this the CB Cooler Bag 157. This comes in all black, but it also comes in gray with black and blue trim, kind of like the retail stuff like Yeti does. But these coolers that we carry, our house brand, Urban Peak, it's guaranteed not to leak. So you can put loose ice in this cooler and it won't leak. We put a 1-year guarantee on that. It's a beautiful thick vinyl liner on the inside, but something like this can be logoed in full color. That's included in the price. And we're doing free personalization until the end of Q1. So if you put all of your customer names or all of your employee names in a spreadsheet, I'll drop them underneath the logo one at a time, and you can create that connection like the story that I told you about earlier. This cooler bag is about under 40 bucks, and I've got a couple different choices for you at different price points. Another big way that, people have been kind of utilizing Starline and our services is drop ship. So you've got this scenario where you used to go to an in-person event and you used to hand things out one at a time, where things have changed a little bit today. So we have a couple cool solutions for you. And this is maybe just a way to help you make a decision really quick. You might not know how much it would cost to drop ship things to everybody, but we do a flat rate drop ship program to residential addresses. So we have a program where we took everything in our line and we came up with a price. So it's either $15, $12, $15, or $18, and you can ship one item to each individual location. And the drop ship has been a great way to create that connection. If you're in an office every day, you see your employees, you could have a breakfast or a lunch, and you can get together and you can talk, and you can see people from other departments. But when you're still at a distance like this, that drop ship is kind of a cool way to go. So one of the products that we've seen used a bunch for drop ship is the camp style mug. So this is a vacuum mug that looks like a ceramic coffee mug with a handle on the side, and it's vacuum. And this is the SL261 PR. This is one of our better sellers. I have 3 similar pieces. But the reason something like this is trending right now is I'm home all the time. I'm not using a tumbler and jumping in the car and going somewhere. I wake up, pour my coffee, sit at my desk. This keeps it extremely hot for a long period of time, and I'm able to drink less coffee. So this desktop piece is really trending for us right now. If you can see this, see that laser engraving on there? That's included in the price. So we do this beautiful laser engraving on our powder coat at Starline. And that's what the big boys are doing at retail. That's what a lot of people are doing. So it's a highly sought after decoration. Something else for you guys, if you've had events in the past and you have an event scheduled this year that you think might not happen, don't hesitate to do a little package that you ship out to people. If you had an event in the past, you had a venue, you had travel to get there, you paid for food. So there's a really big budget for that event. So if you're going to do that event virtually this year and you still have a little bit of money to spend, I think an idea where you do a drop ship piece to all of the people that are going to attend to help them get involved and create a connection is a good idea. So you kind of have to have a plan for getting people engaged, and kind of asking fun questions is a cool way. So my idea would be, We have a bunch of products like this. This is only one of about 4 or 5 where it doubles as a can cooler. So you can drop a can in the top, or you can put a lid on this and make it into a tumbler. So you could just ship one of these out to everybody and check that out. We can do a full color raised feel decoration for $1 on our drinkware. But everybody gets one of these, and you open up the happy hour event. And you're like, all right, what's everybody's favorite drink, or what are you drinking tonight? And, you know, somebody will say, well, I'm tired. I'm drinking coffee out of my tumbler, or, you know, I like Monster beverage, or I'm drinking a beer. And it's just like a fun way to get people connected and talking, and, you know, getting on the chat. So where we have one of these, like I said, we have 4 or 5. This is the SL260. This piece comes under $13 with full color decoration. So there have been so many cool trends this year, and you know, I could talk all day about some of the things that have been happening, but one that was really popping early on was using housewares for promotions, because I think what was happening in Q1, Q2, people had events, they were canceled, they wanted to get products into people's hands and get marketing into people's hands, but they wanted, when they receive it, for people to think that it wasn't a waste of money. And one of the categories that really shined during that time, and still does, is housewares. So if you go in my kitchen right now and you look at my cutting boards and you look at, you know, my baking sheets and some of my pans, there is some stuff that I could definitely replace. So if you sent me some marketing pieces or a way to stay connected within that category, that's greatly appreciated. That helps my personal budget because I don't have to go out and buy that necessity. And an item that was really head and shoulders above the rest was the cast iron skillet. So if I turn this just right, you can see the laser engraving on the cooking surface on this cast iron skillet. Cast iron's cool because it's trending. There's no coatings on here that people might perceive as harmful. You can go from the stovetop into the oven, you know, pretty seamlessly. And you know, honestly, this piece right here could outlast your company. You know, it could stay in somebody's hands for years and years and years. And all of these housewares, I think, are a great idea, primarily because the user's going to see the logo over and over and over again. You're going to get tons of exposure. And think about this. If you give something like a skillet or a cutting board to a customer or an employee, and they have people over, and who are they going to have over? People that they know, they love, they care about. And somebody sees that logo, and then the person that you gave that product to tells a positive brand story, that's gold, because that's word of mouth now. And they're like, oh yeah, you know, I dealt with Cambria. That's the logo on here. They did this for me. It worked out really well. I would highly suggest them. You should call Kim. She's my contact over there. That'd be a great company for you to work with. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And if you want to get extra personal, what I might do, if you're thinking about doing a cast iron skillet, is try to include a little something about yourself with the skillet, like a recipe. You know, here's my grandmother's peach cobbler recipe. You can cook that in the cast iron skillet. Or you could say, here's my cornbread recipe. Give that a try. And I think what you'll end up seeing is more people even responding because of the recipe, because people love food. It's a great way to connect with people, and you'll deepen that personal connection with folks. So I think that's really important. Kind of getting back to the, you know, where we're all sitting every day. I'm in a home office. Maybe some of you are actually in the office, but, you know, we're always looking for ways to stay top of mind. You know, maybe you're sending out a marketing piece to your customers and you want something that's in front of them when they're thinking about ordering, or, you know, you're sending something out to your employees and you want to remind them of a couple key things that they need to keep in mind as they work. And I think an old way to do that was always a mouse pad, because a mouse pad was great. It sat right next to you all day, day in, day out. You looked at it constantly. The images on the mouse pads that I used to have are like burned into my brain. But today's mouse pad, in my opinion, is the wireless charger. So we've got all different kinds of these wireless chargers. This one here is a little disc. It's got a bamboo look. This is about 15, 16 bucks. This takes a full color decoration. So all of my flat items in the line, as well as my fabric items, take full color decoration for the same price. So don't worry about using your one color logo or full color. Go full color. But if you want to do the drinkware side, we have a special decoration method. There is a run charge with that. It's $1. But back to these types of things. So this would sit next to your computer day in, day out. You know, we're on the phone, we're doing Zooms, I'm picking it up, setting it down, especially if my phone's starting to get a little older, the battery doesn't work really well. I want to set this down and I want to get a charge going. But I'm going to see this every single day. So I've got a piece like this here. I've got another one that's brand new. And this appeals to me. This might, if you want to maybe get into the bedroom, you know, get a little bit of a presence there. I think something like this on a stand is fantastic. I use a charger on a stand in my room. It sits next to the bed. I could roll over, you know, look at my phone. If a notification pops up, I don't have to actually pick it up each time. Or you can actually kind of take this piece apart, set this flat, get a charge on it here. This one's in that $15, $16 price range as well. Or, you know, when you're on Zooms and you're doing video all day, it's nice to have your phone set up in case you get a ping and you want to look over and see what's happening. Just kind of keep yourself fully aware of what's happening. And there's actually one more on the power bank, I'm sorry, the charger side of things. I think this is kind of neat. This is different for us. We haven't tried anything like this before, but this is a wireless charger platform that is integrated in with a little lamp. I painted my office a dark color, so you can never get enough light in your office. And we probably didn't think about video conferencing when everybody designed their home offices, but I got a light over here. I got like a big light to my side. But if you don't have all that, something like this could be really useful to you because it's a little lamp. It's going to create some light. But if you get on a Zoom, you could pop this baby up and aim this towards your face, and it's a ring light, it's a lamp, and it's a charger. So, you know, where I've got these couple items that I showed you, there are so many more in the line. You know, we're known pretty much for drinkware, vacuum insulated stuff, and then of course cooler bags. That's a big trending area for us. Housewares and electronics. So I wanted to keep it quick for you. I could honestly make this stuff last hours. I love talking about this. One last thing I want to drop in and say, when we opened, we talked a little bit about retail brands. Starline carries uni-ball. Uni-ball is a fantastic writing instrument. I wasn't really fully aware of how great a retail writing instrument was compared to some other stuff out there. And that's not to say anything about what's available in our industry. There's fantastic writing instruments, but if you can spend $2 to $3 per piece on a writing instrument and you want to take a look at uni-ball, they do this thing called Uni Super Ink. And Uni Super Ink is different than the rest. What it does is it binds to paper and it prevents fraud. It prevents, it's water resistant, and it prevents fading. So it's an archival grade ink, which is just, and these pens, when you pick them up and you write with them, they're so smooth. I really didn't know the difference. I'm writing with a uni-ball 307, which is a step up from the 207, which is one of their best selling pieces. So if you're looking to step up your writing instrument game and you want to give uni-ball a try, we carry uni-ball as well as other brands that complement what we do from a quality perspective. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to pass it over to the ladies. And if there's any questions, we can address those on camera.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. I see all that great drinkware behind you. Would you mind showing us a few pieces of a few of the new pieces that you have?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I've got a lot of stuff right next to me here.
Okay, and I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to remind everybody to please go into the chat if you have any questions. Drop us some questions. And then the other thing, maybe you could just recap for us, Brian, is the shipping program, because I think a lot of people jumped on and didn't hear the very beginning about the drop ship program that you guys have.
Okay, so not all of you might be 100% familiar with what it costs to send something to everybody's home. So we wanted to make it easy for you to be able to say, hey, I can afford that, or no, that's too much, right off the bat. So on our website, we took a look at all of our products and we listed how much we would ship one to one residential address for you based on a minimum order. And that price starts at $12. It's either $12, $15, or $18. So that price will include the shipping box, the labor to put the item in the box, and the shipping directly to that location. That is a FedEx US Postal Service partnership where US Postal Service does the last mile. It's all still trackable, but I think it's a good value if I could say, hey, for 12 bucks a piece, I can ship one of these to each of your customers' homes. So
it's a great value. Anyone that's ever done any drop shipping on their own knows the value of having someone else put a program like that together for them.
and it's consistent. So if you're reporting to somebody from a marketing perspective, you could say, it's going to be 12 bucks a piece. It's not, this one's not going to be 18. This one's not going to be 9. So you could set up a firm budget for the whole process. And I think that's a little bit cleaner for most people. So there's a ton going on the drinkware side of things. And today, some of the trends that we're seeing, this is my SL263 PR. This is a stemless wine. So, it was always like, give me a tumbler, give me a 20-ounce tumbler, a 30-ounce tumbler. When I started off and I showed you the camp mug, those are trending. The stemless wine are trending. This comes in gray, white, black, navy blue. Look at how beautiful that laser engraving looks on there. I think this is a really sharp look, and there's so much of this done at retail with the retail pieces.
And tell everyone about the insides, the insulation, because that's what everyone wants to know is how does it perform next to that retail brand that we all know about?
It's almost identical. So there's different manufacturing processes out there. So basically what Starline does is we take a piece of stainless steel, it's called deep draw. We extrude this tumbler and there's no seams on the inside. And what that does is it eliminates that vacuum from slowly seeping out those seams. And I mean, this will keep drinks cold for just hours on end. Coffee, 3-4 hours easily, depending on the lid. We have a couple different lids that you can choose from. We have a push button lid that's the best, that keeps the most heat in. I've got this Triton plastic flip top lid, which is fantastic. For whatever reason today, I feel like people need to see what's in their tumblers. So the clear lids are definitely trending. I like them myself. I'm going to put it back on here when I snap it open and close, but the lid itself pops open and then you see that little rubber piece there and it snaps together. This is leak proof. If you went full upside down with this, it's not going to leak. So these are good quality lids. If you're looking for something that's a little slimmer and you don't need, a 20 or 30 ounce, or maybe you're looking for something for travel when we start doing that again, I love this 16-ounce piece. This thing fits in my backpack in that little pocket on the side. It's easy to carry around. This is my SL212 PR, and it comes in all the colors that I mentioned previously. We're doing a lot of white and gray. That's where we're selling quite a bit of product. Still doing a lot of black. And then we're trying to incorporate a blue into the style. So we have kind of like a medium royal blue and then a navy blue. It's not available in every style. We kind of switch them up a little bit. And powder coat is by far the way of the world right now. Everybody wants powder coat, and powder coat, if you don't know, is a little bit more durable. It's a coating that's put onto the tumbler, and it doesn't scratch as easily as a painted on coating used to. And of course, all the big names at retail are doing the powder coat, so we want to be there too. Two more pieces I'm going to show you.
And I have a question really quick before we go on. So someone's asking, what is the name and cost of the wine tumbler again?
This is the SL263 PR, and this one is $14 to $15 range with laser engraving or one color decoration. I don't offer full color on that particular piece.
Okay, laser looks great on that piece though. I know I've seen that. And if anybody needs samples, we can talk after the call about samples on some of these tumblers, because I think when you get them in your hands and you realize it's the same as the retail brand, it's a no-brainer. And I also have one other question, Brian. Just in case anyone pops off the phone, I don't want to miss this. They're asking about the cost of the cast iron skillet and how much to ship a heavy item like that. Not the cost, the cost and the shipping for that.
So cast iron skillets, we have a couple different styles. They start at about $26 and go up. This is an 8-inch skillet. 26, 27 in that range. And then as we get close to that 10.5-inch skillet is 35, 36, 37 in that range. So yeah, it's a heavier item. And, but one thing that we see is, ordering 24, we might ship that via FedEx or UPS. But if you're getting into a larger quantity, LTL is the way to go. We could save some money there. We could put it on a pallet. It's not terrible. We actually thought in the beginning that it would be more expensive to ship and people wouldn't consider the item. And boy, were we wrong. It has been my hottest selling houseware for a couple of years now. We actually started with a brand partner called Craft Kitchen, and they because they sell at Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, they dial back a little bit this year. So we found a new brand partner, Old Mountain, and they had tons of inventory, and we sold through quite a bit of what they had. But so here's what we could do is, if you're looking and you're curious and you want to know, I have an a shipping calculator on my website. So we could, right out of the gates, before we even consider a product, we can figure out what the shipping is so you're comfortable with it.
Yeah, great. And Carrie, I'm happy to do that for you. I'll get you some shipping estimates.
Awesome. And I guess the last trend I'll kind of end with on the drinkware side of things is can coolers. So we've carried can coolers for years. People love the idea of a can cooler. We do this thing with, like I said, with an extra lid. So you can put a drinking lid on top, or you can take that drinking lid off, and we've got a ring on the bottom that you remove. You drop your can in here, lock your can in. And because people lose things, our best-selling can coolers have this little knockout on the bottom, and that's for the other lid, so you can take it along with you. But today it's all about the skinny can. Everybody wants the skinny can. So this is the SL262. This is the navy version. Like I said, it comes in white, black, gray, and this will hold your favorite skinny can, because that's what people seem to be drinking these days.